Good morning, Zero DTE team, and what a morning it's been so far. I've already been doing a lot of trading. We have a lot going on, so I just want to jump right into it. We're going to focus today on three specific charts. I'm going to start doing this moving forward. One chart is for price, one chart is for volume, and the final chart is for volatility. And I'm just going to try to keep it simple and just discuss the major components around each, just so it's pretty easy to digest these videos. So we're going to start with the macro look and what's happened so far. Um, as we speak, the bulls are kind of trying to test the underside of it, but this trend line has so far converted from support to potential resistance. So as it stands, we're looking at a bearish reversal pattern just between these candlesticks. And if you look at what happened with this trend line, as long as we stay below it, that's just going to kind of confirm that assumption. We'll watch volume as the day goes on a relative basis. But yeah, we're watching how we interact with this trend line for the rest of the day. What's nice is this area is also around the expected move zone for SPX. Again, you can see that in the routine warm-up document. So it should potentially provide a good resistance. We'll see moving forward. Obviously, it's a crazy day, very trappy. Lots of interesting things can happen on these CPI days, and we'll have to see what occurs from here. So moving on to our next charts. Let's first look at volume, the TPO. So all of this big merge TPO is just represents the accumulation from Monday to Wednesday. So this is just going to stand as a supply zone as the bulls try to go back and reclaim what has been lost in this gap for today. This should be a decent amount of supply. So we're still pretty far from it, still got 30 points to go. I would personally be fairly surprised if we're able to even get that high today. But again, it's a crazy day. Could easily happen. So we're going to want to see first, do they fill the gap? If they do fill a gap, is it one of those, I believe the term is gap and crap? Or do we kind of move back up into it and continue toward this accumulation zone? Let's see. So I want to also note that we have a wide balance for the day. Obviously, we started off near the lows, we rallied, we haven't stopped yet. It's almost 11 o'clock, so we've already hit that prior day, or excuse me, we've already hit that IB high. So we're just kind of going to look to see if we hold above it. Do we dip back below it? I would stay super nimble. So our pivots today are expanding in a way that I have not seen before. So we have a very, very wide pivot range, is over 100 points. And so we're going to want to, what that means is as we look for kind of that reversion back to the mean, so maybe reversion toward this POC or toward the pivot itself, which is, I think it's actually around that POC. So on these expansive days, I do like those fade moves, so we're going to watch that closely. And again, we're just kind of seeing, do we fill the gap? And if we do, how do we react to this, what is now a supply zone, and or do we reverse and go back and test the lows? We'll have to see. So what I'm really looking at, what I think really told the tale and kind of led this rally, is what happened in the VIX. So despite that big move this morning, VIX, VIX futures, we did not make a higher high. So here's the high that we put in yesterday, and we did not get above that. So that's called divergence. I'm not going to call a bottom. Last time I called a bottom didn't work out so well, but I think that's an interesting thing to watch as the day goes on here. I'm currently short delta because again, all I care about is this trend. VIX trend is still up, so I'm going to maintain my short delta position. It's obviously not having a fun time right now, and I'll show you my portfolio in a second, but that's kind of what I'm looking at there. And the VIX is actually currently red. It's red by almost 3% right now. So something to watch going forward the rest of the day. Again, super interesting day. It's CPI. Anything can happen. So we'll just kind of keep our benchmarks and watch it around that. So just what I'm seeing on a we'll call it tape action, from a tape action perspective, is, to me, this looks like a classic washout. Like I said, I'm net short until something changes, but you often see toward the, not necessarily the bottom of markets, but at least at the bottom of big moves, you see this like big washout down and then this quick recovery, and then the recovery usually continues for at least a couple days. So we'll see if it holds. We'll watch the rest of the day. I'm just going to show you my portfolio real quick. Okay. So obviously I'm taking some heat. I think we're near our highs, just off our highs. So my position today, I'm maintaining this net short um, in the ES as we're speaking. VIX is trying to turn the futures at least are trying to turn green again. I'm maintaining this net short position. I had a sorry for that. I added this contract this morning. I was trying to scalp around it, and so obviously that's what's taking this position super far underwater today. I was net short on SPY, so that's a little bit of a buffer. And then the XPX trade so far, this is just that standard nucleus trade based on the device signal that we got in that engagement zone. So for the setups and for the device signal, what I mean by that, just go to that routine warm-up document. And besides that, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow. I'll send out that newsletter. We should have hopefully a fun day of trading, and I think that'll continue till tomorrow. And I will talk to you then. And as always, stay classy, friends.